We're on TuneIn Radio. You can tune in and catch it anywhere, anytime on TuneIn Radio. We're live streaming on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. And we are now live streaming as I push the button. We are now live streaming on Facebook as well. I am Cindy, and it is Cindy's choice to make a positive impact in our community. And I am so blessed to have this platform to do that. And I have some great people joining me in order to make an impact today. And before we get into that, I want to introduce Clay Posey here with me. Hey, Clay, how are you?
Hey, Cindy, doing good.
Thank you for joining me again.
Glad to.
Y'all can expect to hear from Clay often. He's a great person to have on and share information, just like Stephanie Crow that was here with me before, both with tremendous insight on helping entrepreneurs and contributing to our community. A couple quick plugs here, Clay. You can help me out. Have you heard our PSAs where me and my buddy Rick Cadena, he's the general manager. Do you know Rick?
I do know Rick.
Okay, cool. He's the general manager at the Courtyard at Hamilton Place. And we're working in collaboration with the Greater Chattanooga Hospitality Association to gather supplies to be sent to Southeast Texas. And that's been a hard hit. I'm from Houston. I've watched firsthand the news feeds of people being rescued, of my friends being rescued, of their houses being, covered in 10 foot of water. I mean, it's just crazy. Well, but to watch it like, I'm okay. And then their next post, we're not okay. It's crazy.
Well, and that's what's going on, with SurfPro. We've got
Clay's with SurfPro. Yes.
Half of our company is down in Texas right now helping with that relief as SurfPro franchises from all over the country are. And the news, the pictures you see on the news don't even begin to show that. You can't understand it till you're there.
When I talk to my friends firsthand, and the ones that didn't flood, and they have to drive past these neighborhoods that are underwater, just overwhelmingly sad and depressing to see. And you feel so helpless. I know I feel so helpless here, and that's why we're doing this drive. And if you want to take, water is much needed, especially out around the Beaumont area. I know Rick's got family out there. We have a specific community that is kind of not getting noticed that we are trucking this stuff directly to. So if you can help out, even though there's so much water there, they're in desperate need of drinking water. You can drop your supplies off at the Courtyard of Hamilton Place, 2210 Bams Drive. That's 2210 Bams Drive. Boxes, cleaning items, hand sanitizer, wet wipes are much needed. Non-perishable food, of course. Mosquito repellent is a big deal. I've been seeing the videos of the monster mosquito swarms. It's just crazy.
Yeah, we're using them to airlift supplies.
I mean, I could see that. Oh, my gosh. And a quick shout out as well to our beloved sponsor, Chicken Salad Chick. Everybody knows how much I love Chicken Salad Chick. And Clay loves it now too, right, Clay?
Well, yeah, I do. And you've heard me say before, I'm not typically a chicken. I think most guys are not chicken salad guys, but they made a believer out of me. I had it and I really enjoyed it.
Exactly. And that's why they have some of the different recipes are for the men. They're more popular with the men, like the Buffalo Barkley or the barbecue and stuff like that. And they love, but a lot of the men tell me they love the grape salad. It's so you're right. It's so you guys get out there and try Chicken Salad Chick. It's not just for chicks. It's a great catering option. And you can find them at chickensaladchickchattanooga.com, chickensaladchickchattanooga.com. And I'm always here to help with any of our sponsors or any of the guests on the show. You can contact me at cindy@cindyschoice.com. That's cindy@cindyschoice.com. And another great sponsor is Nova Advisors. And Clay, Nova Advisors has a really cool concept in that they go in and find money that can be reclaimed and money that can be saved. And there's no upfront fees to do that. So they go in and save businesses money, and then they just make a percentage of that savings once they're able to establish that. And one of the things I like to share about is something they can help with is the workers' opportunity tax credits.
Right.
And that's where the company can benefit from hiring veterans, hiring people from disadvantaged neighborhoods, the disabled and so forth. But what happens, the HR departments, it's a very complicated process. And they have to not utilize it at times because it slows down the hiring process, and they need to get people get to work.
Right.
And so what Nova Advisors is able to help streamline that for them and make sure that they get this. We're talking $1,500 to $9,000 credit per employee.
Well, and when you're in business, Cindy, the trick is not how much revenue you're bringing in the front door; it's how much of that you actually get to keep. That's how you really keep score. So anything that can save you money, that's a dollar you don't have to bring in the front door. And then the great thing about that tax credit is you're taking people who otherwise would be a drain on society's resources because they're dependent on that check that comes from the government, and you give them back their dignity.
Yes.
You give them some purpose, and you get them off of that government subsistence, and you break that chain.
Yes.
So that now they're becoming productive members of society, and then they turn around and help somebody else. So it's a win-win-win all the way around.
And, and employing appreciative people, I mean, they appreciate the opportunity. They say that we have a very entitled society now, but these people appreciate these opportunities. And the reason I have Clay back with me, he was just on with David Tulis. I can't wait to go back and listen to that show. You can catch that. You can find that on YouTube or on the Nooga Radio website as well, and hear more on Clay's expertise with helping businesses like ServPro that he works with. And ServPro is actually sponsoring an event, and we have two great guys here to talk about that event. And Clay, why don't you just run with it at this point?
We do. I'm not going to steal their thunder because they can tell you more about the event than I can and do a much better job. But we do have something coming up that ServPro is helping to sponsor. Can't say enough good about our first responders and the tremendous burden that they bear and the job that they do in this community. And these are men and women that when things get really bad, like they are in Houston or like they're about to be in Florida, and I think probably that storm is going to come up and visit us here in Chattanooga as well.
Yeah.
A lot of us go home to take care of our families. These guys don't. These women don't. They are on the job and they're taking care of your family. And so I just can't say enough good about them. But we have Britt Bradshaw and Mark Kaufman here, and they're going to be talking with you about the Chattanooga 9/11 Memorial Stair Climb. Very powerful event. I'm going to be listening. I got to get out of the studio, but I'm going to be listening because I have yet to see Britt talk about this and not choke up because it's really important.
I hope I can hold it together because I get emotional just talking about them coming on.
Yeah, well, it's powerful stuff. If you've ever been close to it or been a first responder, police or fire, or you've been close to those folks, or if you've had family in New York on that fateful 9/11 day, then this is really going to ring home with you. We hope folks will come out. You're welcome to come out and climb. You're welcome to contribute. These guys are going to tell you more about how you can get involved. It's really a great opportunity for the community to come together.
Awesome. Well, let's have Britt and Mark come on up. You guys come join us. And thank you, Clay.
You're welcome.
You're awesome.
I got to scoot. I got to go do other things. Thank you.
I'll see you plenty. Clay will be back with us plenty. And come on up, Britt and Mark. And first of all, I just want to thank you guys. Thank you for being here.
No, thanks for having us.
And I want to jump in and find out a little bit more about each of you. And then I really want to focus on the event too and promote that as much as possible. But let's start with Britt. Britt, why don't you just tell me a little bit about your background, what led you to be the role that you're in and what led you there?
Well, Mark and I both came to the fire department together almost 8 years ago. And we've been friends ever since. And we started this journey with the stair climbs, I guess, about 8 years ago. We went to Nashville and did Nashville's climb for 3 years and decided at that point that we think we could do this in Chattanooga.
That's awesome. And you did that as a firefighter?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. Now, but tell me a little bit. So you personally, what led you to want to be a firefighter?
Funny thing is, when I graduated from high school, went to college, and I actually have a degree in criminal justice. So I worked for a while in law enforcement, and just the passion wasn't there. And so I had some friends that were firefighters.
That's important. It doesn't mean you don't care, but
correct.
It's not exactly.
Right. And so I had some friends that were firefighters, and you know, the helping people was really important to me. And so I decided maybe to give the fire department a try. Well, it took me about 4 or 5 years to get on with the fire department. So I was a little older when I started, which was probably a good thing for me. I was a little more mature.
I always say that I was a little older when I became a mom for the first time, and I'm so glad I was.
Right. I'm the same way. Also, I'm started a little later in life, I guess. So, but it allowed me, I think, to appreciate the job a little bit more. And so now I can't see myself doing anything else. I love going to work every day.
You followed your passion, and that's why. And it's hard to do it. It sounds easy, but it takes us a while sometimes it took me a good while to figure out what my true passion, what really fulfilled me was. But that helping was at the root. I just had to find the right fit for my helping.
Correct.
How about Mark? How did you kind of get directed toward firefighting?
Oh, man, I just had a dream that I was going to be a hero, and so I just decided to apply one day. No, that's not.
No, say what?
No, so I volunteered in high school, and it was always something I wanted to do with my life. And I went to college and got the degree and got the job and made good money and traveled the country and was very happy, all except for I really wanted to be a firefighter deep down inside. So I was living in Oklahoma City, and my office faced Station 1 of Oklahoma City Fire Department. And every time they would go out, my staff would come in and make fun of me because I'm at the window, peeking out the window like a little kid would. And I just, one day I said, this is not as good a job as I have. This is not what my passion is to do. So I made the decision I had applied before and didn't get hired. So I reapplied. And as luck would have it, I got hired, and it's been the best decision I have ever made. I love, like Britt said, I love getting up every morning and going to work. I don't want to leave when it's time to go home because I'm afraid I'm going to miss something. And
that's me too. And that's a lot of the purpose with my business with Cindy's Choice is I push people toward their passion and their purpose.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of my heart for them to find their fulfillment, but better for everybody.
Right.
Absolutely.
When we do that. I mean, I am so glad that drive was in you guys because you were exactly where you need to be. Yeah. And that benefits our whole community. And at so many levels, it's just huge. But it's that way. I mean, it's hard for some people to understand a passion to put your life in danger on a regular basis. I get it. I'm a hang glider pilot. There's a similarity there. But you got your skills down. You trust your equipment. The safety protocol.
Right.
You get that, and that it's some people want to understand being passionate to do something like that. But whatever your passion is, it applies. I'm a lot passionate about a lot of things. It was purpose that I had. It took me a while to figure out, but once I got that passion and purpose together, get out of my way.
Right.
That's so awesome. I'm glad I asked you guys about that. Now let's talk about specifically what the Memorial Stair Climb event is, what actually takes place.
Okay. Like I said, on September the 17th, we have our stair climb, and it is to honor the 343 firefighters that were killed that day on 9/11. Everybody said, after that event, we'll never forget. But I think over time, a lot of people have forgotten.
Yes.
And this event just allows the firefighters, the first responders, the civilians. We love having the civilians there because they want to do something. And we have them there to kind of, I think sometimes it reminds us, as firefighters, that we're not just doing our job every day, that, it takes everybody to remember.
Yeah.
And so on September the 17th, we will all be at the SunTrust building downtown.
Okay.
And each person will climb the equivalent of 110 stories, which is what the World Trade Centers were.
Wow.
So the symbolism there is a lot of those firefighters went to work that day not knowing what their fate would be.
Yeah.
They went to work. They went, when the bell hit, they went into those buildings. Maybe some thought that it could happen, maybe not, probably not. They just went in to do their job.
Exactly.
And, at the end of the day, 343 firefighters didn't go home to their families.
Right.
So on the 17th, you can come down. you can climb for one of those 343 firefighters. You'll be given a badge. You'll pin it on. You'll climb for that firefighter. You're going to finish that climb that those firefighters started that day that they didn't get to finish.
Wow. And this is something, oh man, I would so love to participate. I am going to participate. I'm going to be there. I'm going to hand out waters and encourage people and greet people and so forth. But but there's no way. So those listeners that can't actually physically contribute, this seems like a great event to come hang and encourage and just be a part of for the awareness. Because, you're so right. It's like I was in Houston for Ike when Ike hit. It was devastating. We had a tree come through the kitchen. We had a tree come through the front door. We had to drive almost to Austin to try to find gas. And we were trying to help homeless people and all kinds of, it was just, but I kind of forgotten about that until Harvey comes screaming through and my daughter's in Houston, Texas. And all of a sudden I recall the horror and I'm like, oh my gosh, you need to get out of there. Yeah. And thank goodness that she listened and did get out of there. But there's so many incidents we can recall that it takes, you have to get intentional about remembering. And I'm thankful that you guys are making this effort to be intentional here in Chattanooga instead of traveling to another city and help us remember here over 300, how many did you say? 360? 343 lives were lost. And, I get that. These were people that had made a commitment. They didn't think about the fear. They didn't think about the what ifs. Like you said, they had made a commitment. They had a responsibility and they went to work and followed through with what they'd committed to do. And thank God for the people that have the drive and the passion. God for the people that really care and get the bigger picture. And that's what this event is about, is acknowledging those folks.
I think it's important to remember, too, people are still dying event. Even as today, it was reported that 32 more firefighters have perished from being on scene throughout the cleanup after the buildings collapsed. So it's not just those 343. We do remember them, but there are people still dying today from the effects of that day. So we also, we don't, we forget about those. We don't hear much about those.
And, and I've heard that in the past. I'm sure now I'm recalling that there is a major ripple effect to these kinds of situations. That it's so important that we do keep remembering. I mean, right. I forget about, I was working at Erlanger at the time, and I got to watch I was there to watch the second plane hit. And it is the fear, the devastation, the shock that comes over you. And, I ended up leaving early and getting my kids out of school and going home. Yeah. So, because you just wanted to feel safe. But you're just watching these people that are out there with their families at home. It's like everybody's out, looking out for their family.
Right.
And then you walk away from your families and leave your families and go help other people. And I get it. I know that there were angels all over the place. I know a lot of the miraculous stories, and but there was also a lot of loss.
Right.
And like you said, it's still affecting people today.
Absolutely.
And I know they appreciate so much what you're doing. We might need to touch on this again next week because the event is actually on the 17th. And I'd like to promote that some more. And I'd like to encourage people to get to, where would they register at?
So you can go online and register at our Facebook page, Chattanooga 9/11 Memorial Stair Climb. You can also go to firehero.org, events.firehero.org /Chattanooga. You can email us at noogafireman10@gmail. You can email myself at mkaufman44@yahoo.com. You can contact Clay over at Surf Pro. They can get you in touch with us, which we'd like to thank Clay and Surf Pro again.
I want to encourage the listeners that it's a $35 fee, just $35. It includes a T-shirt. If you can't walk 110 stories, I couldn't think. I was thinking stairs. No, stories. If you can't walk 110 stories, just go register, get the T-shirt, and support that way. Show up. thank these guys and, just be a part of something really wonderful to recall what so many have done. I want to thank you guys. I would like to keep in touch.
Sure.
Absolutely.
I'm going to pull, Jim showed up here. I'm going to pull him up real quick to highlight another cool thing. But and from sincerely, I mean, not just thank you for being here. Thank you for what you do. And thank you for pulling off this event. I want to help and support however I can.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
No problem. Thank you. Right. And you are listening to the Cindy's Choice Show, AM 1240 and 92.7 FM. And we're on 95.3 FM HD4, TuneIn Radio, Shoutcast. We're live streaming on YouTube. We're there on Facebook. Nooga Radio. I am Cindy, and I am just a little emotional, I got to tell you. I love having those guys on to talk about the Chattanooga Memorial Stair Climb, and you'll hear more about that throughout the week. And now I've got Jim Vesper joining me. We've got a quick couple minutes here, Jim. Sorry about that. I'm going to talk really fast because Jim has introduced me to a most incredible product, and we're working on a marketing relationship. And I'm like, Jim knows I've got to be passionate and confident in what I market. And oh my goodness, I'm having amazing results with this device. So Jim, tell them a little bit about the device. We got a couple minutes.
Well, the transition is perfect because, the last couple of times we've been on, we've talked about how important it is for people's wellness to have their blood flow get up, to move your blood, to get going. Well, there are a couple things in life that will certainly get your blood racing. One is these guys charging into a burning building, or God forbid, another 9/11 type of circumstance. And I'm absolutely going to participate in that particular event on the wonderful. 17th. That would be great. Another is dodging traffic on the interstate when some people just don't seem to care to look before they turn at 65 miles an hour on the interstate. So there's another way besides the regular exercising efforts to get your blood going, get your blood moving. And talking about passion too, passion is a theme that moves people very much toward their lives' goals. One of the gentlemen that people in this region know about by name is Mr. Justin Gatlin. He's a multiple-time American Olympic track sprinter who just most recently won the title of World's Fastest Man in 2017 by beating none other than Usain Bolt in his last competitive 100-meter dash race. So this gentleman has endorsed our medical device, the Beamer medical device. He independently endorsed it without any financial compensation. He's a legend in this area, participated in 3 different Olympic Games, multiple time in the World Championships as an American sprinter. Great example, and we're looking forward to a relationship with him as we move forward. But he's sort of a pinnacle for us of someone who has used this medical device frequently in his training to recover and be as good an athlete as he has become.
Awesome. And I am personally using it. You'll hear a lot more about my personal results. It's just incredible. So stay tuned in. Follow me. Follow Cindy's Choice. Get in touch with me at cindy@cindyschoice.com, cindy@cindyschoice.com. And we just thank you so much for joining us. That's a wrap.
The Tennessee Valley's news, talk, and sports leader. Nooga Radio, AM 1240 and 92.7 FM.
And now to our reporter in the field.
We asked Ray at Ray's Plumbing what's important for homeowners to know.
Some field line systems can cost upwards of $10,000. The bottom line is to save yourself money down the road. I would definitely recommend everybody with a septic that is not on county or city sewer to have an inspection done by a qualified professional. It'd be great if nobody did inspections on them for all plumbing companies. That's what we do to make a living. Not to scare anyone, but it should be in the back of your mind. The danger is a field line failing and costing thousands upon thousands of dollars and tearing their yard up. By preventative maintenance, you're saving yourself a large headache that may displace yourself and your family. That happens more often than you think. The waste is designed to stay in the tank, and that waste will build up over time. Even with treatment, we have to help that waste break down. Ultimately, preventative maintenance is the key that will keep you from spending $5,000 to $10,000 on replacing your septic system. The bottom line is to save yourself money down the road.
Call Ray at Ray's Plumbing, 421-6341, 421-6341.
Hi, Hi, this is Chrissy.
And this is Summer
of Summer Cares. There are too many homeless veterans in Chattanooga. Please help us in our Shoebox for Veterans campaign. You can fill a shoebox with hand warmers, hand sanitizers, hand wipes, cough drops, razors, shaving cream, toothbrush, toothpaste, soap, shampoo, deodorant, snacks, socks, gloves, and even a small blanket.
And make sure you drop your shoeboxes or your shoebox items off at Nooga Radio Studio on Hickson Pike across from Bojangles below Goss Insurance or Alpine Crest Elementary School.
Please join us at the Community Kitchen in Chattanooga on November 10th from 11 to 12:30 and help us distribute
WBLZ Udoa, W224AZ Chattanooga, WSDG Sunny Daisy Chattanooga.
CBS News. I'm Steve Kaith, and forecasters say Hurricane Irma is a huge, life-threatening storm. Michael Brennan at the National Hurricane Center says it's a Category 4 with top winds of 150 miles an hour.
We are expecting the core of a major hurricane to make landfall in the Florida Keys and in South Florida early Sunday, and that's going to bring potentially catastrophic wind damage.
CBS's Mark Strassman is in Miami Beach.
Families piled up sandbags trying to protect their homes from the storm.
I'm scared.
Sherry Schwartz lives a half mile from the beach. She told us her neighbors are staying put, but she's not.
I would like to be in denial, but this time I'm taking heed and getting out.
Broward County Mayor Barbara Sharif says they've opened shelters for people who haven't been able to clear out.
We are asking them to get to the shelter before the winds start. So we're hoping that they get there by tonight or by tomorrow morning.
Irma's forecast to cut through the center of Florida, then head on up into Georgia, where Governor Nathan Deal wants people east of Interstate 95 to leave the area.
That mandatory evacuation will go into effect tomorrow, that is Saturday, at 8 o'clock a.m.
Hurricane Jose has strengthened to a Category 4 storm now. It's bearing down on the Caribbean islands that were battered by Irma. In a video statement released by the White House, President Trump addressed storm damage and concern.
From Texas to Louisiana, from Florida to Puerto Rico, and always the U.S. Virgin Islands and everywhere in between that has been affected by these terrible storms, we will endure and come back stronger than ever before.
White House correspondent Stephen Portnoy tells us there has been action on a Hurricane Harvey disaster bill.
The measure passed the House overwhelmingly by a vote of 316 to 90. The package heading to the president's desk infuses FEMA with $15 billion in disaster relief funds. It also staves off a government shutdown and default by funding agencies and extending the debt ceiling through December 8th. The bill was the product of a deal reached Wednesday by the president and top Democrats. 90 House Republicans voted against it, including 4 from hurricane-soaked Texas.
A magnitude 8.1 earthquake in southern Mexico is blamed for at least 32 deaths. Jeff Paul of KTVT is vacationing in that region.
It felt like a train was rolling beneath our feet, and then moments later, that's when we started to see the buildings shaking from side to side. It sounded like pieces of metal just scraping together.
CBS's Adrian Bard is in Mexico City.
The destruction is massive in Juchitán, Oaxaca, about 120 miles from the epicenter. Some of